Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. जननीं शारदा देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुर्. Namaste friends. Today we are going to see the story of 24 Gurus from Avadhuta Gita. Once there lived a king called Yadu. Lord Krishna came in this dynasty of Yadu Maharaja. So one of the names of Lord Krishna was Yadukula Tilaka, and their entire clan was called as Yadavas. Once this Yadu Maharaja had an unfulfilled wish. What was that wish? He wanted to meet a person who was full of shanti, calm, peaceful, and full of bliss, free of all worries. He wanted to see a person like that. So what he did, he went around the world in search of such a person. He thought first he'll check with a rich person. A rich person will be having all the wealth and money, right? So he can buy anything in this world. So he must be happy and peaceful, right? So he goes to a rich person's house and sees a rich person is never satisfied. Even if he has $100 million, $200 million, $300 million, there always he wants more and more. And a rich person is always in a fear that what if somebody steals my wealth? So he is not peaceful. Okay, let me check with a poor person then, if he is peaceful. A poor person is always worried about their next meal. What do they do if we sell out things? How do we manage for next meal? Will we get food? They are in a constant worry. So they are also not peaceful. So Yadu Maharaja goes and checks an educated person. An educated person is also not satisfied for a different reason. More and more, even if they do one doctorate, two doctorates, they want to read more and more. Somehow they are not satisfied with their education. On the contrary, an uneducated person, an illiterate, is always worried about they didn't get an education at all. Okay, he thought an unmarried person will be peaceful, right? Let me go and check with him. An unmarried person and his or her mother, father, parents are always worried about their son or daughter not getting married. And they are also not having peace of mind. Okay, then a married person should be peaceful, right? A married person says, oh, I wish I knew this was more peaceful before my wedding. I lost my peace of mind, the married person says. So they are also not peaceful. He went to the nook and corner of this world searching for a blissful, happy person who was free from worries, and he got fed up and frustrated that he couldn't find any. Once when he was traveling through the state of Karnataka in India, he finds a person, an Avadhuta, sitting under a tree who looks so calm, peaceful, full of bliss, always smiling and full of shanti. Wow, he is the person I was waiting to meet. The king goes to the Avadhuta. Avadhuta means a mystic or a saint. Avadhuta and asks, how are you so peaceful? You are always smiling. It is so blissful to watch you. People don't even smile now. If they have to smile also, they don't smile. But you're always smiling. You don't have a family. You don't have friends. You're living in a forest. You don't have money. You don't have even 10 disciples. You don't even have a board that you're a saint. You don't have a watch. You don't have a chain. You don't have nothing. You don't have anything. But how could you be so peaceful? The Avadhuta said, I'm not having all these things, right? That is why I'm peaceful in the first thing. And he says, it is all because of my Guru Kripa, the grace of my master, my teacher. I'm able to be so blissful and happy and free of worries. Yadu Maharaja was shocked and surprised at the same moment. I thought you are the supreme Guru. Is there any Guru above you also? Who is that Guru? Please let me know. Avadhuta says, this world is my Guru. These children are my Guru. All the adults are my Guru. The nature is my Guru. A honey bee is my Guru. A spider is my Guru. I'm always keeping my mind, eyes, and ears open for any new learning. And I keep learning each lesson every day, every minute of our life, in the everything that I see. Yadu Maharaja didn't understand. Could you please explain me, Avadhuta? He asked. So, the Avadhuta gives a sample of 24 gurus from what he learned lesson from each of the thing from nature and how it helped them realize the supreme truth. The first guru, Avadhuta says, is Earth, our Mother Earth. Our Mother Earth holds all the things in the world. We living things on the earth destroy her, trample her, hit her, hurt her, plow her, but she is always patient and she is compassionate to all the creatures on the world. Even if an elephant walks on the earth, she's so patient and holding everything. She never says, I'll give fruit only to a good person. I will not give to a bad person. I'll not give food to a bad person. She is impartial to everyone. And we see so many tall, high-rise buildings, right? 50-floor apartments, 100-floor buildings. As much as high we go up and up, we have to dig deeper and deeper. We use all those drilling machines and equipments and hit her. As Mother Earth even once said, no, stop this. I can't tolerate this pain anymore. I wouldn't allow you to do this to me. What will happen if the earth says that? There'll be no development, right? So, the Avadhuta says he learned patience from Mother Earth. Next guru he says is air, wind. What is it to learn from air? There is something called air everywhere. Is there anything to learn from it? If we decide to learn, we can learn from even the tiniest thing on this earth. Air, when we breathe in and breathe out, we inhale pure air and we exhale pure air. As much amount of purity it has when it enters our body, it comes out with the same amount of purity also. But when it enters our body, how many organs does it meet? We have so much of organs in our body, right? We have heart, liver, stomach, digested and undigested matter in the stomach, large intestine, small intestine, pancreas, kidney. So many organs we have. The air goes inside, but it doesn't touch any of those organs, and it enters the body with the same amount of purity and comes with the same amount of purity. That is what we have to learn from air. When we deal with people, when we move along with people, we have to help them. We have to be helpful to them, but we shouldn't nag them or we shouldn't pressurize or expect anything in favor as a return. We should be helpful, but we shouldn't be very attached to people. That is what the Avadhuta learned from the air. The next guru, he says, is the sky. What do we learn from sky? The Avadhuta says he learnt independence from the sky. The sky, we see on the sky we have sun, moon, stars, clouds, and so many things are in the outer space. Has the sky ever said, oh, today is a new moon day, I didn't see the moon, how will I live without the moon? Or today is an eclipse, the sun vanished, oh, I'm so upset, I will not live without the sun. Has the sky ever said that? No. In fact, the stars, the sun, the moon, the cloud need outer space called sky for them to live in. But a sky doesn't need all these things. Likewise, We shouldn't create any dependency on anyone or anything in this world, like, I cannot live without this person, I cannot live without this thing. We shouldn't say that. We have to be independent and stand on our own foot in all the times in our life. That is what the independence he learned from the sky. The fourth guru is Agni, the fire. What happens when we put something in fire? It just sends out ashes. It burns everything and sends out ashes out, right? So, actually, what the fire does is it takes the essence of whatever we put in the fire, and whatever is not needed, unnecessary thing, it discards as ashes out. Likewise, when we gel with people, when we move with people, we have to really take the essence from them, the good things from them, and leave out the bad things. That is what the Avadhuta says he learned from the fire. The fifth guru is, of course, the fifth element, water. What do we use water for? Water is used for cleaning dirty clothes, dirty vessels, or anything dirty. We use water to clean it, right? Water is very pure and it helps get other things also to get pure. Likewise, we have to keep our mind pure like water and even help others to get pure. Water always flows downwards, it seeks the lowest places. So it is very humble. It doesn't look for higher places, it always flows downwards. So we should be also be humble in our life, wherever we are in our life. Even if we go to the highest place in our career or anywhere, we should be humble in our life. That is what the Avadhuta learned from water. Next, he says about the moon. Sixth guru is the moon. What do we learn from moon? He says he learned completeness, Purnam, that feature from moon. A moon is always complete. When Lord Rama was announced as king of Ayodhya, it is said that his face looked like a Purna Chandran, a full moon, a complete moon. And the very next day, when Kaikeyi said that you're not going to rule Ayodhya, or you cannot even stay in this palace, you have to go to the forest, that time also his face looked like a Purna Chandran, complete moon. Why? That is how great people have balance in their life. A moon, whatever we read in science as waxing and waning of moon, actually doesn't happen in the moon itself. It is created by the shadow of sun, and that is how it looks for us from earth, that the moon is growing or reducing. Actually, nothing happens to the moon. Moon is always complete. So another lesson is, whatever the outside changes that are happening, that may give you an impression, it may look different, like the moon, like it is growing, descending, it is vanishing, it is full, complete. Likewise, so many things can happen outside of us, but we should never change from the good characters, from the real nature of us. That is also where he learned from moon, to be complete and to be untouched by all the changes happening around us. The next guru, he says, is a honeybee. What does a honeybee do? It goes from flower to flower. It takes honey very carefully without hurting the flower, and goes and collects and keeps in a place called honeycomb, and it saves for the future. A honeybee never hurts any flower while performing his duty of collecting its food. Likewise, when we perform our life's duties, we should be careful enough that we don't hurt anyone, but we do our duties correctly. That is what he learned from a honeybee. The next guru, he says, is a python. You know what a python does? A snake python? It never goes out and searches for food. Whatever comes near as a prey, it only eats that food. It never thinks, oh, will this be sufficient for my lunch? Or will this be sufficient for today? What if I don't get any food? It never thinks like that. Whatever comes in its way, it takes, eats, and lives happily. Likewise, we have to be contented in our life, that is satisfied with whatever the things we have in life. That is what he learned from a python. Next, Avadhuta says some examples of creatures which got distracted by giving importance to the pleasures of the senses, like eyes, ears, mouth, and how they got killed, fell prey, and got killed. The first thing he says is a moth, a patanga. What does a patanga do? Wherever there is light, it gets attracted and it goes, and without knowing it is a fire, it falls in the fire and dies. Likewise, we shouldn't be attracted by for the pleasure of eyes. The moth got attracted, giving importance to the pleasure of eyes, and it gave up its life. Next, a deer, heron. A deer actually loves music, and what the hunters do is they play the kind of music that the deer attracted to, and the deer gets distracted, hears the music, falls prey to the hunter, and gets killed. So what happened? The deer gave so much of importance to the pleasure of ears. The next thing is a fish. We've all seen how do they fish. We put a net, we keep the bait or the food that fish likes in the end, and the fish comes and eats the hook. It bites the hook to eat the bait, and it gets caught, and we eat the fish, right? A fish gets distracted by the pleasure of the tongue. It gave so much of importance to its tongue, so it got caught and it died. So what the Avadhuta says is, we shouldn't give so much of importance to the pleasures of eyes, ears, mouth, and all the senses and lose the balance in life. That is what Avadhuta says. Likewise, he says 24 gurus from whom he learnt each lesson from every little thing of nature and how it helped him to become a better person and realize the supreme truth. So, what are those 24 gurus he says? As we saw, the sky, the earth, the water, fire, and sun, moon, pigeon, python, the sea, the moth, the honeybee, elephant, thief, the fish, a dancing girl, an unmarried girl, a young child, a spider, a serpent, a wasp, and an arrow maker or a hunter. These are the 24 gurus, he says, as a sample. From each of the thing he learnt a lesson for his life and how it made him realize the truth, the supreme truth, and he became a better person and became so blissful and so happy, so contented, free of all worries and full of shanti. That is how he became, because he was open for all learnings. This story is actually narrated by Lord Krishna to his friend Uddhava. This is part of Uddhava Gita, and this story is called Avadhuta Gita. And that Avadhuta, that saint, was later known to be Lord Dattatreya. Now, what do we learn from this story? First thing, we are always a student in this life. Even if we become a teacher, we should treat ourselves as a senior student, and the people learning from us are junior students. The learning should continue lifelong. And if we decide to learn, we can learn from even the littlest thing in nature, like how Avadhuta did and how he became happy, contented, and blissful. Once a person went to Kanchi Paramacharya, Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal, and asked, "Oh, people call you Jagat Guru, Jagat Guru. Do you think you are the supreme guru, ultimate guru for this entire world? That is why are people calling you like that?" Paramacharya smiled and said, "It is not because I am the guru for this entire Jagat, the world. This entire Jagat is my guru. That is why I am called Jagat Guru." That humbleness, that Vinayam we need to have in our life. Even if we succeed in life and go to higher places in our life, in our career, in personal life, that amount of humbleness is needed in our lives. That is what great people have done. So we should be open for new learnings from every new person, every new thing, every new experience that we have in life. And that is how we'll succeed and become happy in our life. Thank you for listening to my story. We'll meet again with another good story. Till then, namaste.
Dear children, Namaste. I hope you're enjoying the videos that we have posted on our YouTube channel so far. If you have any queries on morals, on values, or if you have any doubts on religious practices, you can post your queries to our email ID, that is office@rkmmvcc.org, and we will answer your queries through our YouTube channel. Thank you. Thanks. Namaste.